سلام، خیلی خوش اومدین به یه ویدیوی دیگه با من سحرم و قرار با هم یه سفر 20 روزه رو شروع کنیم. توی اپیزودهای قبلی کلی کتاب Vocabulary for IELTS سطح Intermediate رو در قالب 20 اپیزود پادکست بهتون آموزش دادم. این پادکست ها توی این پلیلیست قابل دسترسی هستن به همراه PDF های طراحی شده، دیزاین شده که به راحتی میتونید از طریق کانال تلگرام دانلود کنید. توی سفر 20 روزه جدیدمون قراره این کتاب رو با هم دیگه کار کنیم. کتاب Vocabulary for IELTS سطح Advanced. این کتاب هم در قالب 20 اپیزود پادکست قراره کامل بهتون آموزش بدم. حالا برای اینکه این پادکست رو از دست ندین حتما جوین بشین توی کانال یوتیوب و همچنین مثل همیشه برای دانلود PDF ها به کانال تلگرام سر بزنید و از همه مهمتر چطوری از این پادکست ها استفاده کنم. برای نحوه درست استفاده از پادکست ها من براتون یه ویدیو کوتاه آماده کردم که با پایان صحبتان میتونید نحوه درست استفاده از این پادکست ها رو یاد بگیرید. یادتون نره تمام مراحل رو اجرا کنیم که دقیقاً مرحله به مرحله طبق روشی که من میگم تا بتونید از این پادکست ها و همچنین روش مطالعه درست این کتاب بیشترین بازدهی رو داشته باشید. خب بریم سراغ درس 2 از سری اپیزودهای 20 قسمتی این کتاب. توی درس 2 در مورد تلاش برای موفقیت توی درس و تحصیل و کلاً لغاتی که برای توصیف درس و تحصیل و دانشگاه احتیاج دارین کار می‌کنیم. همچنین با هم یاد می‌گیریم چطوری از این لغات توی اسپیکینگ و رایتینگ آیلتس استفاده کنیم. پس تا ادامه ویدیو همراه هم باش. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. We are going to analyze Unit 5, Striving to Achieve, Study and Work. Welcome back to Saharcast. Today we're going to talk about something really important. Studies, work and planning your future. When you think about your career, there are usually two main paths. On one side, you might decide to go to university and study something more conceptual like philosophy or economics, where you learn about ideas and do hypothetical thinking. If that's what excites you, then you're probably a bit of a theorist, someone who enjoys building ideas and explanations. On the other side, you might prefer something more hands-on. For example, you could do apprenticeship, where you work directly and with a professional and learn by doing. That would make you more of a technician or even blue-collar worker, someone who values consistency, practical skills, and daily routine. Both of these choices are valuable in their own way. The truth is, whether you study accounting, engineering, or literature, the most important thing to give yourself is something to aim for. Learning is not always easy. Sometimes it is a process of trial and error. You may face inconsistency in your results or feel that your efforts are insignificant. But every little step counts, and over time it adds up to a real progress. So in this unit, we'll explore useful vocabulary to talk about study, work, and the challenges of learning. Let's get started. Unit 5, Vocabulary List, Striving to Achieve, Study, and Work. Nouns. Accounting. Accounting. The process of keeping financial records. Apprenticeship. Apprenticeship. Training with a skilled professional while working. Conceptualization. Conceptualization. Forming an idea or concept. Consistency. Consistency. Behaving or performing in the same reliable way. Establishment. Establishment. The act of starting something, for example, a school or business. formulation, formulation, creating or preparing a plan, theory, or rule. Hypothesis, hypothesis, an idea that explains something tested through study. Inconsistency, inconsistency, not staying the same or not agreeing. Insignificance, insignificance, the state of being unimportant. Interpretation, interpretation, explaining the meaning of something. Technician, technician, a skilled worker in a practical or technical field. Theorist, theorist, someone who develops theories and abstract ideas. Vocation, vocation, a strong feeling of suitability for a career. Some adjectives: analytical, analytical, relating to examining different details carefully. Blue collar, blue collar, related to manual labor. Conceptual, conceptual, based on abstract ideas. Hypothetical, hypothetical, imagined or based on theory. Indicative, indicative, showing or suggesting something. Some phrases: a process of trial and error, a process of trial and error, finding the right way by testing different methods and learning from mistakes. Give yourself something to aim for. Give yourself something to aim for. Set a clear goal to work towards. Make a goal. Make a goal. Decide on a target to achieve. Let's talk about some IELTS Speaking Part 3 sample answers. First, think of the questions and your answers. Can you identify what makes a good student? That's a great question. I think a good student isn't just someone who gets top grades. It's someone who is curious, consistent, and open to learning through trial and error. They don't give up when something is hard. They take feedback seriously and show consistency in their efforts. Whether they're learning through apprenticeship or a university program, the key is to stay focused and have a clear goal to work toward. Number 2, would you agree that subjects like science and math are more difficult than art and literature? Well, to a certain extent, yes. They can be more difficult because they require more analytical thinking and exact answers. In subjects like math, you need to understand formulas, hypotheses, and conceptual ideas often feel abstract. But honestly, art and literature can also be challenging. They require emotional depth and interpretation, which some students struggle with. So I think it depends on the learner's strength. What is hard for one person might be easy for another. What social skills do children learn at school? Schools aren't just for academics. They also teach students how to communicate, share, and solve conflicts. Children learn to work in teams, follow instructions, and adapt to different social situations. They also learn vocation-related soft skills like time management, responsibility, and public speaking, which are indicative of future success. These skills are essential in both blue-collar and academic careers. Is there too much emphasis on academic study at work? That is a difficult question. In many countries, yes. I think there's too much pressure on exams and not enough focus on creativity or real-world skills. Some students are naturally more conceptual or hands-on, but schools often focus only on theory. I think schools should offer a balance between academic content and vocational training, like apprenticeships, so students can discover their strengths. Do tests and exams help students to learn information? Well, not always. Tests can motivate students to review and practice, and in that sense, They can reinforce knowledge, but they often measure short-term memory rather than deep conceptualization. Also, exams may create stress, which can lead to inconsistency in performance. A better system might combine testing with project-based learning, so students can also show creativity and problem solving. Can you evaluate the importance of compulsory state education? Absolutely, I believe compulsory education is essential for any society. It gives every child, no matter their background, the right to learn basic skills and become an informed citizen. It also helps reduce inequality by giving access to knowledge and training. Even if some students eventually choose a vocation or a blue-collar path, the foundation provided by state education is crucial for future learning and personal development. Should governments encourage students to take certain subjects at university? That's quite controversial. To be honest, on one hand, I understand why governments want to guide students towards subjects that match national priorities like engineering, technology, or medicine. But I also think students should choose based on interest and ability. Forcing students into a field they don't enjoy can lead to insignificant progress or high dropout rates. Instead of pushing, governments could indicate trends in the job market and offer incentives, but not strict rules. Can you speculate on the challenges that universities will face in the future? Sure, I think one big challenge will be adapting to AI and digital learning. Many universities still follow traditional models, but the world is changing fast. There will be more competition from online education platforms, and universities might struggle to show the value of formal degree, especially if vocational skills are in high demand. They might also have to rethink how they teach, moving away from lectures or towards hands-on project-based learning. And of course, managing costs and accessibility will be major issues. Let's analyze one part to sample answer. Describe a school you attended. You should say what the school was, how long you studied there, what the teachers and the students were like, and explain whether you enjoyed studying there or not. I'd like to talk about my high school, which I attended for 4 years from the age of 14 until 18. It wasn't the most modern place, but it had a big influence on my life. The curriculum was quite demanding. We had to study a wide range of subjects from math and physics to literature and foreign languages. Sometimes we learned through a process of trial and error, which made it challenging but also rewarding. The teachers were a mix. Some were very analytical and strict, expecting us to show consistency in our work. Others were more creative and encouraging. I especially remember my English teacher who helped us to think critically rather than just memorize rules. That was very inspirational for me. Overall, I enjoyed studying there because it gave me structure and also taught me to give myself something to aim for. It wasn't easy, but it prepared me for university and gave me the confidence to set long-term goals. Describe a lesson you didn't like at school, what the subject was, how long you studied it, what the lessons were like, and explain why you didn't enjoy it. The subject I really didn't enjoy at school was physics. I had to study it for about 3 years in high school, and I never really connected with it. The lessons were always very technical and conceptual. We spent a lot of time solving equations, drawing diagrams, and memorizing formulas about motion, energy, and electricity. While some of my classmates found it interesting, I struggled because I preferred subjects that required creativity and memorization skills like literature, history, and art. Another reason I disliked it was the teaching style. Our physics teacher was very managerial. and serious, always emphasizing accuracy and precision. There wasn't much room for imagination or discussion, and that made the classes feel quite tedious for me. In the end, I passed the subject, but I can't say I enjoyed it. If anything, the experience made me realize that my strengths were in more artistic and linguistic areas. Looking back, I'm glad I focused on those subjects more because they've shaped my career path much more than physics ever could. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next